When considering what markets to enter, we need a full understanding of the macroeconomic, the political, legal situation, etc. But also critical for us is to understand the automotive value chain. It's important to us to understand the flow of new and used vehicles in the market, where the volumes are, who the suppliers are, and ultimately who the end customers are for those vehicles. This helps us understand what the right market entry strategy is with the right products and services. The pace of adoption of digital technology varies considerably between markets. In markets where there are already wholesale physical car auctions, that pace of change has been much slower because people were quite happy with the status quo. However, in markets where there was a less formal exchange process, acceptance of digital and the pace of change has been much more rapid. Particularly here I would evidence markets such as continental Europe, where because vehicles particularly move across borders, having an online wholesale marketplace has been absolutely key for all customers. And from that perspective, our customer is the buyer and the seller. There are also other markets where effectively they haven't had to go through the physical stage. So very quickly, they've no need to have a physical car auction, they've shifted straight to digital. There are a number of factors behind the pace of acceptance of digital technology. In markets such as continental Europe, acceptance has been very quick because the digitization of the transaction process has really helped vehicles cross borders. In markets such as Australia, the acceptance of digital technology has been quite slow because there's a lot of contentment with the existing process of physical car auctions. However, in other markets where distance is an issue, digital technology has enabled people to acquire vehicles from more distant places that through purely physical means they wouldn't have been able to do. The technology itself can be a barrier, and in a market where we're dealing with buyers and sellers, the rate of acceptance of new technology amongst buyers is the critical factor here. It's also not true to say that the more mature the market, the quicker the rate of acceptance of that technology will be. What we've seen in some of the immature markets is a race to digital fairly quickly. There is no need to go through that traditional step of where you have a physical car auction as an interim step towards full digital. Our digital solutions do vary by market. Within the UK, we have a strong physical infrastructure as well in terms of the ability to move, inspect, clean vehicles and so on and so forth. Whereas other markets such as continental Europe, we rely on local partners to do those activities. The needs of the markets are very different. So within Europe, where essentially vehicles cross borders quite easily, we make sure that we've got a platform which is capable of doing international sales. Within the UK, there is very little international sales. The only vehicles that move from this right-hand drive market move across to Ireland or places such as Australia and New Zealand. And it's a very small part of our business.